Hi, I'm Chris Smith with Delta Media Group and Real Estate Marketing and Technology Magazine. Today, we're visiting with Stark Company Realtors, one of the largest real estate companies in southern Wisconsin. With a history dating back to 1908, they pride themselves on the idea that a community isn't built one house at a time, but rather one handshake at a time. Thanks for talking with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Chris, I'll start with you. I know you've been in the business for quite some time as the oldest real estate brokerage in southern Wisconsin. Can you tell me how the company first got started?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the quote that you actually mentioned there at the end of your introduction came from our great-grandfather. And the Stark Company was actually, like you said, founded in 1908. And it was during the time when there was a lot of movement towards the western part of the country. And so our great-great-grandfather, his name was Alison Stark, started what is now known as the Stark Company. And what it was a place where you could buy tracts of land out in mostly the Dakotas. And I believe the government was giving grants at that time. And so you saw some movement westward. And AC really only ran that company for a couple of years. Rumor was he was not a great businessman. I believe he was a minister first. And then our great-grandfather, Paul E. Stark, he was going to law school. He was going to go to law school in Nebraska and actually decided to not go there, came back and got into the business. And at the time, it was really just a two-person shop. And I'm sure Madison at that time was a much different city than it is today. But he was really the leading force of the company. And the company was known as the Paul E. Stark Company. And was for many years, and has since been passed through the family. Our grandfather, Phil Stark, ran it for years. Our father, Dave Stark, has been president of the company since 1989 and is still relatively active today. And then Alison and I have gotten involved in the business. I've been in the company since late 2010, so going on 13 years. And Alison, forgive me, how long have you been now in the company?
It's on and off, family business. You're in it for a while, but I think I'm going on 9 years full time.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's been something that's been a part of the Madison community for a long time. And we kind of feel like our roots are here in Madison, but it all started with AC Stark kind of going all the way up to this point to Dave, and now kind of with us as siblings working in the business. And here we are to present day.
So do you feel like the family legacy has kind of built the foundation that evolved the Stark Company Realtors into what it is today?
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting you say that. I was talking with our grandfather, Phil, who's since passed, but I was asking him about our great-grandfather. And I said, who was our great-grandfather? What was he like? And the first words he said is, he was a leader. He said he was a leader in the community. And I think that's definitely a foundational piece that we not only take pride in, but we try to reiterate regularly, and just kind of the way we act, the things that we do, the way we serve our clients, the way that we serve our community. We feel that as agents, sometimes it's easy to think, well, what I do is just I help people sell houses, but really what you are is you're a leader of an industry, and you're leading people literally through a big life change. And so I strongly believe that Paul E. Stark, by being a leader himself, really kind of set that foundation and instilled certain values that we still hold very close to today.
Well, it's clear that family is a major part of your company. And as a family-owned business that's been serving the area for so long, you must have a strong presence in the communities you serve. Alison, what are some of the ways that you support those communities and the residents aside from selling real estate?
Yeah, I think Christopher was touching on how, the family history there goes deep into both kind of developing the Madison area, developing some of this area from a real estate perspective, but it went beyond that. They were heavily involved in giving back to the community with their time as well, in a lot of the ways of trying to, build a strong community of people here, tying back to your original quote there about one handshake at a time. And I think that has definitely carried forward as well. So, here at the Stark Company, we do a lot of endeavors where we have beneficiaries. Just back in the summer, we had our, can't recall which year we're on, 14th or 15th, maybe, golf outing, where we have a beneficiary each year who receives the funds that we are able to collect from that golf outing. We also are heavily involved in the United Way of Dane County here in the Madison area. So that servitude has always been a big part of what we're about. Not only that, we have, near 200 agents, all of which I'm pretty sure are involved in some capacity or another within their own local communities, ways that they're giving back there as well.
Now, I know you also do a lot of relocation work at Stark Company Realtors, and you've got several partnerships in the area, including Leading RE and more. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've always been very much involved in the relocation world. You mentioned where partnerships are a part of the Leading RE community. We've been a part of that ever since I can remember. Ted Krez is our business development director and relocation director, and he's heavily involved there, building relationships with many of the companies across the country. And we feel it's really important to understand what's going on in that part of our industry. Obviously in the last few years, I'm sure that's been an extremely interesting segment, understanding what businesses are doing, where their people are relocating, how they're looking at their people and where they need to live. And we want to make sure that we're going to be able to serve the people here in our community, both coming in and going out. We've talked to many companies who have people that they're trying to bring to our area, and we feel that we can be an asset for them because we can help their people know what it's like to live in Madison. A lot of these companies are trying to recruit people to come and work for them. And it's not just coming up and showing up and doing the work. It's about sometimes moving your family, and it's plugging into the lifestyle here. So we feel it's really important to understand what that's like, because then we can better serve their clients. And, it's the people that are moving here and the companies that we work with as they're working through relocating their people. So being connected through those communities is extremely important because we can understand what's going on, what people are experiencing, and what they're hoping to achieve.
Now, Chris, you're an independent firm. You've got a long-standing reputation in your market area. I have to imagine that you've got relatively high standards when it comes to recruitment. What are some of the skills or values or any other characteristics that you take most into consideration when you're looking for new talent?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Attracting new talent is something I'm sure every brokerage has to have on the forefront of their missions and their initiatives. For us, like you said, we do have high standards. I can remember when I started with the company, that was made very clear. Real estate by nature is one of those that can seem, I don't want to say easy to do, but you can almost do it, whenever you want. And we try to look at this, no, this is more a career. And we do that for a couple of reasons. One, we believe that we want to invest in our people and help them achieve the success that they can achieve. And two, it also translates into delivering great customer service. So some of the traits that we look for are people who have grit, determination, they have a drive that doesn't necessarily come from us, but our job is to foster that and pull that out of them. We want to help them become their best version of themselves, because when we do that, they can then go in turn and serve the customer extremely well. And sometimes there's soft skills. What's their ability to be able to understand people, the empathy side of it? What are their people dealing with? But then also having the ability to connect with them in such a way that they can help them see a pathway to where they're trying to go. Another phrase that we like to use all the time is we help people move from the life they have to the life that they want. And we mean that both for our agents, but we also mean that for the people that we serve in our community, the buyers and sellers that we work with. And so agents have to have that ability to connect and kind of clarify what is that process that they're going to go through. So when we're meeting with people in the beginning, we're looking for those traits, and they can be hard to identify sometimes because you don't know until people start getting out there and connecting with people. But I think it starts with that motivation. Do they have that fire in the belly to want to really get out there and do this job and do it at a high level? And do they have that servant's heart where they can connect with people and understand what they're going through and help them get through it?
Alison, have you found that offering access to cutting edge technology and support go along with it being a selling point when you're recruiting new agents? Does that help in that department?
Yeah, I think it absolutely does. I don't think it's a secret anymore that technology is a part of life. No matter what industry and where you're going, it's going to be a part of that wherever you are. So certainly, as Christopher said, when we're talking with people, we're looking at the personhood side of it. We're looking at how well are they able to work somebody through a process, especially one like a home sale that's going to have a lot of pieces to it, a lot of moving parts. And so in order to do that well, they need to be able to focus on that relationship, working with the people. And we see that having the technology on the back end to help support them in that is really important. So, we found a lot of ways internally to be using the technology piece in order to help serve them through keeping organizational pieces on the back end, or making sure that they are communicating well with their clients and regularly with their clients. There's lots of different ways that people want to be communicated with. And so we're just making sure we have all of that available to them, and having technology that's able to support that all in one spot, I think is very important to somebody growing their business in real estate.
It sounds like we agree that providing top tools and technology is a necessity for success in the real estate market today. What are some of the tools that you think every real estate agent needs to use?
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, if you have a thought, go for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I would say number one, and this is a big reason why we partnered with Delta Media Group, was that you have to have a database. And you have to have a place to be able to store all that information, because that's the most important information about your clients. You know, what are the things that are valuable to them? It's going to be their family. What are the things they like to do for fun? What's their workplace? And so if you don't have a database, you really don't have a business, in our opinion. And what we found with Delta is that they were able to provide a place where we could have that database. And then the rest of our team, and what I mean by team is like our department heads, our marketing, our IT departments, we can then support the agents by offering them elements where they can access their database and then utilize some of these tools. I think one of the ones that we've found has worked exceptionally well for us is the Creative Studio. A lot of agents want to have access to marketing assets, but they also want to make sure that there's some customization that can go along with it. They want to make sure that it kind of looks and feels and breathes them, but they also don't want to have to build it from the ground up. And so our marketing department has been able to go in and create templates, create a lot of those marketing assets that agents can then go and utilize. We've also been able to design e-campaigns, social media graphics that they can go and use and go and utilize through their connection with their sphere or their database through those mediums. Because as it was mentioned before, today's world, we connect through so many different mediums that if you're not present in those locations, you might be missing opportunities to connect with your people.
Sounds like you have a good handling on what DeltaNet can do and some of the different services and tools that are offered inside of it. How long have you been using Delta Media Group technology?
I would say we're coming up on 2 years. I believe we started with Delta Media Group in October of 2023. And honestly, we feel like we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg of some of the things that we can do with Delta Media Group. One of the reasons why we chose it is we felt it was an extremely robust system, which for sometimes the non-tech oriented agents, it can seem overwhelming. But Delta did such a great job with the baseline stuff that we knew we could serve those agents that maybe weren't tech forward with those basics that you have to have, while also having access and opportunity for those that are tech forward. And I think the more we continue to get into the program, offer more through it, the agents are really going to see how this platform is going to help them in their business.
And would you say it's aided in the growth of your brokerage and your agents' businesses as well?
I would say no doubt. We talked about recruiting earlier. When we have conversations with people that we're talking about recruiting over, you know, they want to know about your technology, but we also feel that this is now an asset. We can say to them, one of our jobs is to be able to help support you guys by increasing efficiency and offering you technology that can help, that you can leverage to deliver better customer service. And we can now say, since we partner with Delta Media Group, we've got the opportunity to give you access to some of these marketing assets. We can automate some of these elements of your business that used to be time sucks for you in the past. So it's an asset that we can use to be able to say, if you come here, we're going to be able to help you do your business even better.
And Chris, how important do you think it is to have a customized website with a strong SEO to have success in this industry?
Yeah. Well, obviously being present in the online world is critically important. I know agents want to know that when people visit their website, like I said before, it looks and feels like them. And I know with Delta Media Group, there's a lot of different templates and different styles that we can utilize, which the agents loved. We've gone through proactive kind of audits with all of our agents and what their marketing materials look like. And they love the fact that they can go out and they can have a website now that looks and feels like them. And then from the SEO standpoint as well, you know, there's a lot of people searching online for information about real estate, or they may have a specific need. And we feel that we want to drive them to our website because when we do that, we know we're going to be able to give them great service. So having that presence to make sure that people online presence, that people can find us, means that we have the opportunity to serve them and serve them at a high level, which we feel they deserve.
Alison, what do you like most about your website? Is there anything in particular that stands out to you?
I think as Christopher said, there's a lot of ways that people are able to get in and search for properties. So I think people have really enjoyed being able to get into it. They're able to do local searches for homes in certain areas. I think people have really enjoyed being able to have a platform that they can use to plug in and communicate with their agents then on the back end. They can share what they're looking at, what's important to them. I think it's been a really great asset. I think it's also something that people have been proud to share outward and have people, their clients plug into. It's been great.
So the theme for this issue of Real Estate Marketing and Technology Magazine is making your marketing stand out. I'll let either of you kind of jump in and answer this question. What are some of the ways in which you and your agents utilize the tools that you have in DeltaNet to market listings, open houses, things like that, as well as your brand?
Yeah, I know we mentioned the Creative Studio. I think that's probably one of the biggest tools that we've been able to leverage and utilize when it comes to designing, like I mentioned, social media posts. Agents can not only have those customized marketing elements that go along with it, but then the automation that can go with it. We can post those automatically to their social websites. They've got e-campaigns that they can go out and they can send that to their sphere or to certain areas. And that's been extremely helpful because agents now know, okay, when I get a new listing, there's some elements that are going to be automated, so it saves me time, but I also know it's going to look good. So it's going to have the brand expression that I'm looking for. And that's something that we've always believed in here at the Stark Company. We want to make sure that we, with our marketing materials, it tells a story, and it needs to be one of high service, high standards, and that people can understand what they're going to get from it just by looking and seeing and feeling the assets that we can put out there.
So change can be scary for some people, and of course, more intimidating for some than others, especially when it comes to technology. What are some of the tactics that you use for getting your agents who are less comfortable with technology to adopt some of the new tools?
You want me to take it?
Go ahead.
All right. So as we've talked about before, a big piece of what we're about is making sure that we are supporting our agents. So we have a lot of support on the back end. So that means we've also put in a lot of time and effort towards making sure that we are personally training our agents and providing opportunities for them to continually learn different pieces of the program at various times. So we're combining doing group training and also then meeting with people individually and allowing for that so that those that need a little bit more hand holding, who need some more time to be able to learn some of the systems, they're able to do that. We've also allowed for a little bit of a stair step for those who want to go out and do it on their own. They can get into it, they can learn it, they can do all of the bits and pieces on their own and fly with that. If there's somebody who says, I want to be involved in this technology and I want to utilize it, but I really need some help, we've also put systems into place that they can continue to have help along the way. So they don't have to feel like they need to be fully proficient in order to be able to still use those services. So we've made a nice blend of options for different people.
And do you feel like Delta Media Group has supported you in making these efforts?
Oh, 100%. I know our marketing team, our IT team, and then our business development team. I know they have regular meetings with Delta Media Group. Anytime we've had questions about anything, I know we've got somebody that we can go to. They've helped us develop some of these tools that we're looking at wanting to be able to implement to our team. It's been fantastic.
So what are some of the goals for the future of Stark Company Realtors? Do you have any new plans or initiatives that you're planning to roll out?
We always start with our why, which is helping our agents run a great real estate practice. And we do that by, we've said many times on this call, just having better efficiencies as well as better customization that reflects who they are. So I know building out continuously the Creative Studio has been a big key element. And then I think probably some forward-looking initiatives that we're hoping to implement even more would be expanding some of the listing processes so that agents, because that can be a pretty laborious process. You've got to process paperwork, you've got to input information in the MLS, you have to order photos, you have to create the marketing materials. And so we're looking to streamline those even more. And it's always got to be that balance, because anytime you streamline something, what can happen is you lose that sort of custom, unique feel to it. But you don't want to lose either. You want to maximize efficiency while also having that look and feel that represents who you are. And so we're looking at creating not only more automation within those areas, but areas where it can continue to hold that sort of marketing design that we want to maintain.
So if anyone out there is watching or has any questions or just want to reach out to you about something, what's the best way to do that?
Well, obviously they can reach out anytime to us if they, hopefully they know our names now from from this interview. They can contact us, whether it's from our website, which is starkhomes.com. Otherwise, our general office line here is 608-256-9011. Just ask for one of us. We'd be happy to help out. And if we can't, we've got an amazing team around us. In fact, they're the ones probably that should be on these calls because they know how to answer these things better than anybody. And so we're extremely lucky to have that team around us. But we love helping those because we know when we help others, there's inevitably going to be something that they're working on and that they know that can help us. And it's a great part of being of that community because we know we can benefit.
Alison, Chris, I want to thank you again for taking time to talk with me today. We're definitely proud to have you as part of the Delta Media Group family, and we look forward to checking back with you soon to hear about your successes down the road, okay?
Awesome. We appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, thank you.